It's Mike Randles making a front concave hunter front and a hind concave hunter shoe. He's marked the center of the toe on the front, but it's marked just off center so that the inside is a little shorter, so that he's able to safe it. And when he safes it, it'll just stretch the material just a little bit to compensate. Mike's from Cheshire, England. Mike's going to work at his normal pace, and he's going to forge the outside heel, bend the toe, bend the outside branch, stamp the shoe, and pritchel it. So what he's aiming for in one heat is to have half the shoe complete. In a second heat, he'll do the inside branch, and in the third heat, he'll clip the shoe. So that's going to be his process. This is a normal process for making the shoes for these guys. So he's folding the outside edge to the center of the stock. He's forging the outside and the inside to center, because the heel has to be forged to center, because this is a snug fitting heel. He's forging the end of the shoe to the angle of the buttress. Okay, so it's like a racing heel, so that the horse can't pull it off. He's doing a hunter heel. Toe bend. He's thinking about the foot that he's shoeing, getting a nice toe bend in it with toe quarters. And again, he's not rushing. He's got it in contact, bending the branch right round to the heel. And this is going to be a more curled in shape shoe, because it's fitting to the end of the heel. Okay, it's not fitted with width and length. It's fitted to the foot. Okay. He looked at his shape, just correcting the shape a little bit. It's easier to correct it now than to correct it later. He had plenty of heat to do that. Stamping the holes. He's lining up with the front edge of the anvil, okay, so you can see where his hole will be. Looking for the widest point of the curve, put a heel nail in, then he'll space 2 in between. Okay, same amount of hits each time he hits the punch, so that the punch is going the same depth. He aims to hit the pritchel one time. He might tap it and then hit it, but it'll be one solid hit on the pritchel, and he'll have clean holes. Level the shoe, starting at the toe, working to the heel. I think one heel just blocked nail. He's going to blame my tools. Start leveling it from the toe, overlapping blows as he goes to the heel. So he's worked the whole branch. Take off the sharp edge with the hammer. Then work the edge between the foot and the shoe. So you get definition between a division line between the foot and the shoe. So in one heat, we have half the shoe made. He's gone through all the nail holes one time, and you'll find that by the time he's finished, he'll put a tiny bit of back punch in, and all the nail holes will fit the same. And you see, he punches fairly cold. And if you punch fairly cold and pritchel fairly cold, you get crisper nail holes. If you punch really hot, the nail holes tend to bullet out and be like rounder. So he'll fold the outside of the heel in this time, just to round it, but it's going to be more of a support fit heel. Now he rounds it to center, puts the heel check on it. And there's no rushing, you know, that's the thing. The method there is habit. Make his toe bend. He'll make a more acute bend because it's a hind foot. And he's already thinking of the shape and the toe quarters. Setting the toe up. And that's the thing, he doesn't rush. He's setting the toe so he's got the toe exactly how he wants it. Just putting a bit of safing on the toe. Bending our branch halfway between the toenail and the heel, bend the quarters. It's being careful not to leave too much twist get into the shoe. Again, he lines the shoe up. He doesn't put the shoe on the anvil crooked. You notice he's putting the shoe on the anvil square, so he's working off of reference points to get the nail holes. He's not having to physically measure them. And when he's pritcheling to the angle of the hoof wall. And again, that would be a normal process. Just fix the tool a little bit in the middle. You know, don't let the tool totally deteriorate in condition. Fix it halfway through. Working the edges of the shoe. And he's always got good tongue position. He's not ending up really bending over. Wire brush it. He's going to safe it from the quarters to the, or from the heel back to the quarters, sloping the edge over. Being careful not to twist it. Shaping the heel to the center because it's a hunter heel. Putting the slope onto the buttress in a moment. Safing the shoe. And safing is where you blunt the inside edge of the shoe. So if the horse hits its other leg, it's not going to cut itself. With a hind shoe, it's not as necessary to put as much slope on the inside branch because they're not going to pull the shoe off themselves normally. Bend the branch from the quarters back. And it's just going to be a bit bent, just a fraction more on the inside because it'll be fitted tighter than the outside. Now, you can see he's going back to the face of the anvil and looking at the shoe before he carries on. Now, I personally like to hit the punches with the round side of my hammer because I want to keep, if with hitting the punches you can damage the face of your hammer. So if I damage the rounding hammer side, it's not so, for me it's not so critical as damaging the flat face of my hammer. It's a habit I've got into. Being careful you don't twist the concave. You can see that's what Mike's doing, is he's being careful when he's hitting it not to cause too much twist in it. Guess he doesn't care about the hammer because it's mine. It's overlapping the blows. You notice he makes sure when he levels something, he goes from the toe to the heel, and it's continuous. Same when he works the edges. He doesn't just hit it 3 times. It's overlapping blows the whole way. Mike's chosen to use a bob punch for clipping concave. And I would say more people typically clip concave with a bob punch than with a hammer. Can you see the bob punch is aiming out? It's not going straight up and down, it's aiming out. And that's what's pushing the bubble of material to the outside edge. He starts the base of the clip, pulls it back, and once he's got a base, then he can start drawing the clip up to a point. And can you see that he's causing very little distortion to the shape of his shoe when he's doing it? There's leveling behind the clips. Safing the toe off, that's knocking the sharp edge off the toe, so if the horse overreaches, he doesn't hit with a sharp edge. It'll also just help the break over just a little bit. Setting the clip to the angle of the hoof wall. And this would be a typical style shoe that Mike would have used through his career. I'm probably due a new one anyway. And it's important to learn to draw clips well, because it's one of the things the client sees. So you want to get the clips to a uniform shape. I think that's very, very important. Base of the clip needs to be thicker than the point of the clip, so there's some strength, because it's the base of the clip that really matters. And the clip needs to be slightly pointed in shape, because that's when you fold it back, then it gets a radius in the clip. If a clip is too round in shape, then you can't get a nice radius folding it back. Pin it to the end of the buttress. And you're using nice straight strokes, you know. A lot of people, you see a lot of people rasping, and again, it's not deliberate. Every bit of that rasping is deliberate. It's creating something. So he's working at the angle of the heel and shaping that heel to center of the buttress. Center of the stock, yeah. And that's what causes you to struggle, if you don't make the right style of heel for the fit. And that's where people go a little bit wrong. They learn to make a generic heel, let's say a support fit heel, but you've got to change the check on your heel depending on the shape of the foot. If you've got a more round shaped foot, you're going to need the heel more checked. If you've got a more straight foot, you'll need the heels checked less. So the tendency is is to make one style heel and hope it'll fit everything, and it won't. With the apprenticeship system, we would expect, I know when I was an apprentice, if I spent a day in the forge, I better complete 3 pairs, 4 pairs an hour, minimum, finished, roused up. Clipped up, rasped up, finished. What you're learning is you're learning to pull shoes and clinch, and then you're learning to use the knife, and then you're learning how to use your nippers, or maybe you rasp and then your nippers. The master will do part of the work, you know, and you'll do part of the work. So the master may show you how to use it, knife up the sole and the frog, so you've prepared it for him, ready to nip and rasp it, and then you'll do it, keep building in stages. A good horseshoeing is just personal pride. You know, I mean, it's personal pride. You can do bad work as easy as you can do good work. So it's a case of wanting to do good work, you know, and looking at it. We have some shoeing that's not ideal there also. You know, less than ideal. You know, you've got some people try to shoot too many horses. One of the first things I learned, we're talking about an apprenticeship system, first thing we learn is how to trim barefoot horses, you know.
What's an average day for a guy?
Oh, all types. You got guys quite happy doing 4 a day, and you got guys wanting to do 10 a day. You know, it's no.
What is the average cost over there to charge?
Probably about $100. Yeah, you know, somewhere around $100. with a little bit of support, not a lot, but a little. Inside we got it safe, fit to the center of the heel, not fit with a lot of width, if the horse hits. And these are hunter shoes. They're designed that the horses probably will hit at some point. They're going across rough terrain, deep mud. They're getting fatigued after several hours of riding. It's nothing to do with badly trimmed. You know, people always say, well, they won't hit if they're badly trimmed. I think it's wrong. If a horse fatigues, it will hit. And these horses are going out and fatiguing. So that's why the difference in the fit. Okay? A little bit of safety on the toe. Our tradition is 4 nail holes on the outside, 3 on the inside. I don't think that's necessary, but it is our tradition. Okay? But you know, that's a typical hunter shoe. Hunter Hind. I'll explain now. What we got the heels forged to center. We got a slope on them. So if they're fitted to the center of the heel, so there's nothing to grab on the outside. You can't get stone catches on the inside. The inside branch is safed. Okay? So that would be a typical front hunter shoe. So it's not fitted with length. It's fitted to 1/16 past the heel, no more. You know, basically penny on a penny horseshoeing. You understand that? Put 2 pennies on top of each other. That's how it was meant to fit. It wasn't width and length. This horse was getting shod in 3 weeks. The feet didn't grow over. Okay? Clip already set to the angle of the toe and the radius of the toe. So you can see that the method that I use and Mike uses is basically the same method. Very little difference. You can put 10 English guys on the 10 anvils and their method is going to be very, very similar.